Cracking is cracking. I'm out here in the UK on the Strata Compton tour, man. Much love. And you know you rocking with, man. It's Lil Easy E, and we about that online. So we finna get it cracking, man.
Do you want to give us a lowdown of who you are?
It's lowdown. It's kind of like I'm me. I don't know any other way to answer that.
I'll make it a bit easier for you. Describe yourself in 3 words.
The cosmic one.
Jeez, I like that. No hesitation. So, Mr. Cosmic, how did you get into music?
I got into music just from, I suppose, just the natural feeling of hearing music, being inspired by it, utilizing music and consuming it like everybody else, and just naturally, just from there, just creating it, being creative, messing around with it, and that's about it.
Okay, so what would you say your genre of choice is?
My genre of choice, at the minute over here about that music, we're cultivating our own genre, which we call cosmic hop, which is quite a unique blend of like hip hop with a lot of different elements and sounds and different nations, and a lot of global stuff with just different nationalities and people from different countries. We've kind of been around the world, and I feel as though we've got a lot of the best kind of untapped talent.
Okay.
And we're just getting ready to push that out there to the world.
Yeah. So tell me a bit more about that.
That is the enterprise, is the empire right there. So a few months back we've we introduced stuff about that online, and through about that online, which is about that.uk. If you go onto that website,
about that,
you can find the latest on all our multimedia productions. And there's a range from music to film to print stuff, fashion stuff. There's a lot of stuff. So about that, it's a way of life, and people on the streets.
I have to. Sorry to cut you, but I have to give Bout that a shout out because I used to. I'm still part of the family, definitely. And you guys, you believed in me before I was on radio. Like you guys were like the foundation for what I'm doing now. So I definitely have to give props to Bout that.
You see, the thing about that, we represent the streets, we represent the people, we represent just like we want opportunities ourselves. We'll never shy away from giving people opportunities, and not just that, creating them.
Yeah.
We're on a mission to create even more, and we've been creating even more, and there's a lot of others who will attest to the same thing. So with that's how it is. We keep it real with us, we keep it real, and that's it.
So growing up in Birmingham, what challenges have you faced?
Like most
haters.
I mean, growing up as a black male, I faced all the black male challenges that I think you're going to face growing up as a young black male anywhere around the world. But on top of that, growing up in Birmingham as well, in such a gritty urban environment and stuff like that, you're going to face the challenges of having to deal with like stereotypes, negativity, and all the rest of that stuff. And even people that say they're positive, but they ain't positive, because if they were positive, they'll be doing what you said, which is giving people opportunities and stuff like that. Most people are scared to even give like young people or the youth any opportunities. When I was young, there weren't nobody giving me any opportunities. I had to go out there, do everything myself. And you'll find a plethora of young people from this city, from all over the city, that will tell you, that I've done stuff for them. Because if I could do something for a young person, I want to do it. You know what I mean?
Because you're investing in the next generation.
For the next generation, because it ain't about me, but a lot of people in Birmingham, they're all about themselves.
Yeah.
They want to be, big fish in the small pond, as I say.
Ain't going nowhere fast. Yeah. So, how do you remain so fearless, so unique?
Yeah, that's that God body, man. God put it in me from day one, and I'm gonna tell you like this. There's few people that I even back down to, and my mother's one of them, but I'm fearless even to her.
Yeah.
And I've been like that from young. Don't get me wrong, she'll still put me in check, but if it's something where I feel that I'm right, I'm gonna. That's how God's put that in me, and no one's ever gonna take that out of me. And people could try, and you got these culture vultures and these squares and all the rest of it trying to blackball me, but I ain't gonna get too gangster out of it. I'm gonna chill till I catch this radio.
Okay, you know what? On that note, let us play your tune if it decides to play. Come on.
Yeah, we can go for it. You know what we can go for? I brought you over this track, No More Questions. Or do you want to save it to after the interview?
Nah, we can play this one. Let's do it.
We're sitting here with Fonzie.
You wanna introduce yourself, Fonzie?
Yeah, I think we should hit a pause on that and pull this up. You know, we can't let them hear that too soon.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Now this track, No More Questions. I know this is radio and people don't like to hear too much talking, so I'm gonna talk too much. I'm gonna talk just a bit. But this track's called No More Questions. You know, you can check it out. It's gonna be about the online. This track ain't been heard nowhere else but here now. This track was put together just to be played here now. So bear that in mind. The mix ain't you know, the top mix. We got more coming. May even drop a visual. But for now, you can listen to the audio. Yeah, catch this TV.
Jeez.
So
let's
get
do
it.
this. No more questions.
My style is a juvenile, ran with a bobcat gang in the meanwhile hanging, functionalized and rapping.
We're sitting here with Fonzie. How are you doing? So Fonzie, tell me, how was your life as a youngster?
Useless. My style is a juvenile, ran with a bobcat gang in the meanwhile hanging, specialized in rapping. Raised in the city of Brumtown, banging daily. It's all about coming up, making sure no punks are running up because I'm a gangster, having fun. Gotta watch my back, little Marvin from Birmingham, terrible. I should've listened to my mother. It went in one ear and out the other. Ran my gang, sold undercover, slung deep to the bronze. You ain't no lover, I'm a pimp. That daddy looking for the moolah. At 13, started hustling the computer. Pro life, had us running from the police. Learned in the streets that you can't trust the thief or a blood convict. Hood number, I'm telling you, leave your door open.
Yeah.
Fonz, were you ever caught sleeping?
Shout out to me.
Charge on my snitches. Not sorry for that verse. It's in my nature. We let them burn.
Sounds good as well. Considering we have to get off voice now.
If you don't like it, I really don't give a damn.
I see. So, you're a gangster? Okay, what would be the situation when you so-called ride on somebody?
Wait for some people to leave.
Oh, I feel gas.
I got another trick up my sleeve. Step with finesse to the back of the house. Look in. All the lights around. Grab the door and let's not so. Made way to the window. Lift it up slow, cause it takes time.
Nah,
Look around, then I comment. Once aside, I'm locating. Cause we know it's no time for shaking. Get what you gotta get carefully. Or get a couple years for some burglary. Move quickly, but no running. I think somebody's coming with the front door key. And I flee out the back with a fist full of jewels.
Where's your mom?
The wall, but won't fall like my sweat. Cause that was a close call. And raised by the P is a lesson. So, is there any more questions?
There is. Have you ever been involved in like a robbery or a gang fight?
Street shit.
Yeah.
Point, walk around, case the joint, one man behind the front door, another in the back. Go out to the car and load the gas. Grab the ski mask, here's the task. Going broke, come out with cash.
Was you on plane?
Yeah, you gotta be cunning. For the young ones to keep the car running. Slow down, everybody on the ground. Anybody who big missile laying down. Feel the back, homeboy, don't lag. Bad monkey with the pistol, wipe the blood with the dish rag. The man in the back had the hammer, so he came out to test his stamina against BDL, but he took one, fell to the floor. That fool done. Back to the plug spot, specialist involved. Take strap, dump that in the reservoir. Mom like rubbing, no mashing for more. Steal from the rich and hang with the poor. Coming for all rich niggas cookies. It don't matter to me. I feel like nobody is better than me. I don't lie. You see, I'm not Mr. Nice Guy.
Oh, so you're not exactly a role model then.
Yeah.
And for the listeners, what does the Fonz think of himself?
Real and live, you can't get with this. Those that tried, you're on my hit list. Can't be caught, bought or fought, thought. And damn, so what? Down and dirty from the B20. Out that mafia and Fonzie P. One more before we end this session.
Your accent.
No more questions. This one's so groovy, baby.
Wow. Wow. We were
No more
grooving
questions.
in the studio. Jeez. Oh my gosh, and I got a little cameo as well.
Featuring Von, man.
Yeah,
No more questions.
I was loving it. So like, yeah, that was Fonzie P Neutron with no more questions. That was an exclusive for you guys, you know. Exclusive.
With that said, you know, it's only right to say R.I.P. Eazy-E, man. The godfather of gangster rap, because that was a homage to Eazy-E at the same time. And if it wasn't for brothers like Eazy-E, I wouldn't even be out here doing this. So just gotta keep that love up, man. So
Definitely. So yeah, let's get back into the interview then.
Yeah.
So, if you had to say, what would be your proudest achievement to date?
I don't know if I can.
Putting you on the spot.
Yeah, it's a bit of you know what? I did a show a few years back with some young people at the Lighthouse Young People Center, and they worked really hard for a number of months and put together like a music stage production.
Yeah.
And at the end of it, when it culminated in the final showpiece, and those youngsters took to the stage and represented, I was very proud that day. So I think,
the community.
yeah, just seeing the kids. Regardless of what I've done myself, like when I see one of the kids or the youngsters do something, that kind of hope for the future, that kind of seeing it in the life of the youngsters, that's some of my proudest moments.
Okay, so what motivates Fonzie?
Passion. Deep burning passion.
Deep burning passion.
Yeah, passion with a deep burn. That is it. That's the motivation. Passion. Just truth. I'd say truth. I'd say love. Just loads of different elements, but it's definitely elements that are powerful. Like if it's anything minuscule, I'm one of those people. I don't necessarily have the time or even patience for it. So it's powerful things like I'm driven by passion, I'm driven by desires, I'm driven by love, or those kind of things that spark a fire in somebody. And I think a lot of people sleep too much nowadays and haven't really got that fire in them. So
gotta wake up.
Yeah, we try and wake them up and
wake up.
Wake these squares up. So
yeah. So who are your top 3 inspirations and why?
Okay. I'm gonna keep it simple and just kind of take the easy options.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna keep it real simple. I'm gonna say, no pun intended. I'm gonna take the easy options. First I'm gonna say
easy.
It's easy because as I said before, and a lot of people really don't give Eazy-E the credit for what he's done. And we've saw people in the industry like Master P, who would also be on the list of what they've been able to achieve just as like businessmen and creatives. But Eazy-E was, he set that mold like early on, and a lot of people don't really give him his credit. And he represented for the streets, which I think is very staple and important to let people know what's going on in the streets from a real level. Where that's kind of missing. So I'd say Eazy-E for that reason. Master P, and I'd say Tupac as well.
Ooh, shout out to my homie.
Yeah, or for different but the same sort of reasons, because they all represented in their way, and still their representation still lives on. Regardless in all of that. So
yeah, what is black culture to you?
Black culture to me, is a question. And I think that's a question that I think people should ask themselves, because what we see is so many different imaginations or alliterations or different variations even of black culture, or what people accept as black culture for themselves based on, it could be something somebody's told them, or it could be something they actually feel. So I think it's something where you have to look back and really be willing to look back and look into the truth and go on a quest for truth, because to me black culture is truth, it's wisdom, it's knowledge, it's the same kind of things that I said I'm driven by. They're the same kind of things which are in the essence of real black culture, where nowadays we see stuff that is sold as black culture, but
it's not.
I think a lot of those key components been stripped away. So it's sort of like comparing a human to a homunculus.
What? Come again? Break it down, please.
It's sort of like humans, but they don't have the same properties in their body. And
Okay.
like, you could break down the human body to a certain amount of chemicals that you know in every human body, but homunculus they ain't gonna have like everything because
They're
you know.
not a
So
real
yeah,
human.
it's kind of the same.
Was it like Pinocchio? Like you wanted to be a real boy?
Yeah, somewhat. I mean, you know, I feel Pinocchio pain. There's a lot of Pinocchios out there,
Amen.
but yeah, that's a different story.
Did you always know what you wanted out of life?
Well, I'll say I'm still trying to get. I'm always trying to constantly get what I want out of life. So I think that ain't gonna stop till I'm dead and gone. And I know one thing when I'm dead and gone, I always say they're gonna bury me a G.
Woo.
And I'm from the UK, so they say, why do you say bury? I say bury because Tupac said bury, and I grew up on that pop. So I'm saying bury me a G. That's what they're gonna do. So I know one way or another when my story's told.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna be like these punks that think because they're doing one or two things now and got a bit of name now, but when their story's told, whatever, you know, I ain't even tripping off that. But when I'm gone,
Yeah.
bury me a G. I'll tell you that much.
So how do you deal with those comparisons to, you know, you speak in American? Explain to me how
see
you
what
feel
it is.
about that.
I mean, you asked me what's black culture. You know, me and you did an interview on Centre Stage where I pretty much addressed anything,
Yeah.
like any accent or vocabulary and stuff like that. Because I could pick out almost anybody in the room and talk to them about their vocabulary and strip down how they sound. Or better yet, I could go into their brain and actually go into core memories and, you know, just how they are. I am how I am, you know. People don't like it, don't know what they could do with it. But regardless of that, I've never tried to be like the local person like some people. I've always been like, even though I'm born in Birmingham and I represent Birmingham, I'm a citizen of the
Create
world.
your own lane.
I'm a citizen of the world and I'm inspired by the world and I've been around in the world and I can go out and I can converse with different people. It's like now even me talking now, if somebody's tuning in from other places, they're able to listen and dissect what I'm saying just down to my accentuations and my flavour and how I talk and stuff like that. But
that's the word.
yeah, you know, but you know, people are gonna hate on that. Not everybody's got the same level of education and stuff, which I understand. You know, I've always been intelligent and stuff like that. At the same time, I'm not saying it like to put anybody else down, but you know, people are always gonna point the finger at you based on something that they can't do. They don't have the ability to do it, so they gotta look at you and say, "Oh well, you shouldn't be doing that." You ain't telling me what I shouldn't do because I ain't put here to fit in with anyone. I'm gonna do what makes them feel comfortable. I'm going to do what I feel comfortable doing. And if I say so myself, I do it quite well.
I love that mentality. I love it.
Thank you.
So, tell the listeners what is in store next. What are your plans for the future?
For the future, elevation and expansion, those two things are always going to be principal when talking about that. Because, you know, I'm just the emissary. I'm like the spokesman in the sense like that it's bigger than me. A lot of people may look at some of the stuff I'm doing and think, even like you said, the people on the sidelines who are jealous and hating, they're looking at me, hating on my achievements or what they see from an aesthetic point of view. But at the end of the day, it's bigger than me. You know, anything I say is even bigger than me. You know, you ask me what my experience, I'll tell you about the kid. I ain't one of these people who's trying to put myself in the equation. I'm just an emissary, but for that's going to continue to grow because that's our mission statement. And we've got such a solid team of people who are so dedicated, and you know, we've got some of the best specialists in individual markets, just from like web design and you know all sorts of different things that we do. So over the next few years, we're definitely looking to just keep elevating and keep expanding whatever falls under that, between that, you know. There's some international partnerships that we're going to start seeing expand out a lot more and stuff too.
Yeah. So where can the listeners hear your music? Where can they find you?
Bout.online, baby. Bout.uk, like hashtag Bout.online. That's BOUTDAT. Could say about that, but it's not about that. We bout that. Tag. So you know, you go on Bout.online, you're gonna find anything audio, visual, stories, press releases, and everything's on there. Event news, you know. I've got a sound going off in the back.
Sorry, so unprofessional. It's the next interviewee.
So good.
But yeah, man. Fonz, it's always a pleasure to be able to
100%.
get you back in. And you know what I'm going to do? Just because I love you. I'm going to play your tune once more, just in case they
People
didn't hear it before.
Make them listen to the lyrics.
Yes, because I was vibing, I cannot lie. So yeah, interview forward.
Peace, family. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check us out on aboutthatonline.com. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook for exclusive playlists and social media for all different types of segments and content.